Have you ever stirred in the dead of night, perhaps around 3 a.m., gazing at the roof, pondering why your system refuses to grant you peace? Maybe you've shifted and rolled, yearning to slip back into slumber, only to feel more alert than before. You glance at the timepiece, still 3 a.m. And abruptly, it seems this occurs nearly every evening. If this feels relatable, you're not solitary. Many mature individuals notice themselves rousing at this precise moment. And it's not merely a fluke. It's not simply a poor routine either. There's truly a cause behind it. And it's not just about your body, your health, or your mind. The good news is, once you understand why it's happening, you can take simple steps to improve your sleep, wake up feeling refreshed, and enjoy better overall health. In today's presentation, we'll delve into why you keep waking up at 3 a.m. and what it truly means for your well-being, and most importantly, I'm here to share some simple yet effective methods that can help you finally achieve the deep, restful sleep you deserve. So, if you've ever wrestled with midnight awakenings, stay with me, because this information can change your perspective on sleep. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a new upload. Your encouragement helps us deliver more useful content like this. Now, let's dive in. First off, why 3 a.m.? Why not 1 a.m. or 5 a.m.? Well, your physique adheres to something called a biological rhythm. Consider it your inner timer. It directs your system when to rise, when to feel drowsy, and even when to release vital chemicals that manage your vigor, digestion, and mood. But as we age, this internal timer begins to shift. Just as our vision alters or our joints grow a bit creakier, our sleep pattern undergoes its tweaks. And here's something intriguing. Around 3 a.m., your system experiences a change in warmth, chemical production, and even glucose levels. This is a natural occurrence, but for many older individuals, it becomes more evident. Perhaps your system isn't controlling warmth as it once did. So you awaken feeling overly warm or chilly. Maybe your stress chemicals, like adrenaline, are slightly imbalanced, causing your system to feel agitated rather than calm. But there's another cause you might be rousing at this hour. And it's something many folks overlook. Your rest cycles lighten as you age. When you were younger, you might have dozed through the night without a second thought. But now, your system lingers more in lighter rest phases, meaning minor disturbances, like a sound outside, a change in your breathing, or even just rolling over can wake you more readily. And once you're awake, that's when the mind engages. You begin pondering. Maybe it's about yesterday. Perhaps it's about a task for tomorrow. Maybe it's just a stray concern that emerges in your head. And before you realize it, you're fully alert, staring at the roof, waiting for slumber to return. Does this ring a bell? Here's where it gets truly fascinating. Waking at 3 a.m. isn't just about rest, it's actually a cue from your system. It's attempting to communicate something. Sometimes it's tension, sometimes it's nutrition, and sometimes it's even a hint that your system needs a bit more aid in ways you might not have pondered before. For instance, have you ever observed that what you consume during the day impacts how soundly you rest at night? This is a major factor. As we age, our metabolism transforms, and our bodies handle food differently. If you're eating heavy dishes too late in the evening, or consuming excessive sweets or stimulants in the afternoon, it can disturb your glucose levels, leading to those 3 a.m. wakenings. And let's not overlook hydration. If you're not drinking sufficient water during the day, your system might actually rouse you because it's parched. But on the other hand, drinking too much right before bed, well, we all know how that goes. Those midnight bathroom trips can disrupt your rest, making it tougher to return to deep slumber. The key is equilibrium. The right nutrients, the right hydration, and the right timing all contribute to how well you rest. And the good news, making a few minor adjustments can yield a significant impact. Now, we've only begun to explore why you keep stirring at 3 a.m. There's still much more to uncover, including the surprising role tension plays, how your breathing might be affecting your rest, and simple techniques to help you stay asleep longer. So stick with me, because we're just getting started. Now that we've revealed some of the primary reasons why you keep waking at 3 a.m., like shifts in your rest cycles, body warmth, and even your diet, it's time to delve even deeper, because the reality is, this isn't just about rest. It's about how your system responds to tension, your breathing patterns, and even what's happening in your mind while you slumber. Let's discuss tension for a moment. You might not consider yourself a stressed individual, but tension doesn't always manifest as worry or unease during the day. Sometimes it lingers in the background, accumulating in subtle ways. And guess when it likes to reveal itself? That's right, 3 a.m. Here's what occurs when you're tense. Even in ways you don't notice, your system produces more adrenaline. This hormone helps you rise in the morning and keeps you attentive throughout the day. But when it's out of balance, it can interfere with your rest, causing you to awaken in the middle of the night, feeling weird. Even if you don't feel anxious, your system is on high alert, as if it's preparing for something. And let's be honest, aging comes with its own set of concerns. Maybe you're navigating changes in your wellness, worries about loved ones, or just the natural adjustments of growing older. Even if you're not consciously fretting over them, your brain doesn't simply shut off at night. So what can you do about it? One of the simplest yet most potent ways to soothe your nervous system before bed is deep breathing. Have you ever noticed how infants breathe deeply and slowly when they rest? That's because their systems are fully relaxed. As adults, especially as we age, we tend to take shorter, shallower breaths without realizing it. This keeps our nervous system slightly active, making it easier to awaken in the middle of the night. A simple solution: try this the next time you find yourself gazing at the ceiling at 3 a.m., inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold it for 4 seconds, then exhale just as slowly for another count of 4. Doing this a few times signals to your system that it's safe to relax. It tells your nervous system, hey, there's no threat, you can return to slumber. Now, another major factor, often overlooked, your sleeping environment. It's easy to assume that simply lying in bed is enough, but small things can disrupt your ability to stay asleep. For example, have you ever woken up and realized your room is just a bit too warm? As we age, our bodies don't regulate warmth as effectively, which means you might be waking up simply because your system is too hot. The ideal sleeping temperature is around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. A cooler room helps your system remain in that deep, restorative rest. And what about light? Even a tiny glow like from your phone, a nightlight, or the shine from a clock can fool your brain into thinking it's time to rise. If you find yourself waking at the same time every night, try making your room as dark as possible. Blackout curtains, covering small light sources, and even wearing a sleep mask can make a significant difference. But there's another intriguing piece of the puzzle: your liver. Yes, you heard correctly. Your liver plays a massive role in what happens to your system during rest. And guess what? Between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., your liver is working hardest to cleanse your system. If you're waking at 3 a.m., your liver might be requesting a bit more support. How do you know if this could be part of the issue? Consider what you're eating and drinking before bed. Heavy meals, alcohol, and processed foods can strain your liver, making it work overtime at night, sometimes to the point where it actually rouses you. The solution: try having your last meal earlier in the evening, and ensure you're getting enough water throughout the day. Adding foods that support your liver, like leafy greens, beets, and citrus water, can also help keep your system running smoothly while you rest. Now, let's pause to consider what you do when you awaken in the middle of the night. Do you check your device? Do you start thinking about your tasks? Do you toss and turn, growing more frustrated? If you're in the habit of immediately checking the time, try to break that pattern. Why? Because the moment you glance at the clock, your brain starts calculating, oh no, it's only 3 a.m. I have 4 more hours until morning. And just like that, your mind is awake. Instead, train yourself to stay calm. Remind yourself that waking in the middle of the night isn't something to fret about. It's just your system doing what it does naturally. Accept it, breathe through it, and focus on letting go rather than resisting. We've now covered some of the biggest reasons why you might be waking at 3 a.m., from tension and breathing to warmth and even liver function. But there's still more to the story. Because, believe it or not, the way you begin your morning significantly impacts how well you rest at night. Now that we've explored why you're waking at 3 a.m., from tension and breathing patterns to warmth, light, and even liver function, there's one more piece to this puzzle that most folks don't consider, and that's how your morning routine influences your rest at night. You see, rest isn't just something that happens when your head hits the pillow. It's a 24-hour cycle. What you do in the morning, afternoon, and even evening all contribute to how well you rest at night. And if you've been struggling with these 3 a.m. awakenings, it's time to examine how you start your day. Let's talk about sunlight. When was the last time you stepped outside in the morning and let natural light touch your skin? It might sound basic, but getting sunlight first thing in the morning helps recalibrate your internal timer, signaling to your system, hey, it's daytime now, let's get going. This cues your brain to regulate melatonin, the chemical that makes you feel drowsy at night. If you don't get enough natural light during the day, your system gets confused, and your rest cycle can become erratic. So here's a challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, as soon as you rise, step outside for just 5 to 10 minutes. Even if it's overcast, even if it's chilly, let your system absorb the natural light. This one small habit can help regulate your sleep-wake cycle, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. Now, let's discuss movement. Have you ever noticed that on days when you're more active, you rest better? That's because movement, especially in the morning, helps set your energy levels for the day while preparing your system for better rest at night. But here's the key. It doesn't have to be strenuous. You don't need to hit the gym or run. A marathon, a simple stroll, gentle stretching, or even a bit of Tai Chi can work wonders. The goal is to move your system in a way that feels good. Not only does this boost circulation and ease your joints, but it also helps release tension, leading to lower stress levels when it's time for bed. Now, let's talk about something unexpected: your caffeine intake. If you enjoy a cup of coffee or tea in the morning, that's perfectly fine. But here's something to consider. Caffeine lingers in your system for hours. Even if you drink your last cup in the early afternoon, it could still be in your bloodstream by bedtime, making it harder for your system to fully relax. If you find yourself waking at 3 a.m. and struggling to return to sleep, try reducing caffeine in the afternoon. Instead, switch to herbal teas, water, or even a simple glass of warm citrus water. It might take a few days to adjust, but your system will thank you when you're finally resting through the night. And speaking of adjustments, let's talk about evening habits. Because what you do in the last few hours before bed can make or break your rest. Think about how you unwind at night. Are you watching TV, scrolling through your device, or catching up on news? If so, you're exposing yourself to blue light, the kind that tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. This can suppress melatonin production, making it harder to fall into a deep rest. Instead, try switching to calming activities. Reading a book, listening to soothing music, or doing a short breathing exercise can signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. And if you must use a screen, consider wearing blue light blocking glasses or using a warm light filter on your devices. But the most critical habit is maintaining a consistent bedtime. Your system thrives on routine. Going to bed at the same time each night, even on weekends, helps regulate your internal timer. If your sleep schedule is erratic, your system won't know when to feel drowsy, which can lead to those frustrating midnight awakenings. So, let's tie everything together. If you're waking at 3 a.m., your system is trying to communicate something. Maybe it's tension, it's perhaps nutrition, it's probably a need for more movement or better rest habits. The good news: small changes can yield big results. Start by focusing on your environment, keeping your room cool, dark, and free of distractions. Look at your daily habits: getting sunlight in the morning, moving your system, and cutting back on caffeine. And most importantly, permit yourself to relax. Rest isn't about forcing your system into slumber. It's about creating the right conditions so that rest happens naturally. So, here's my question for you. What's one thing from today's presentation that you're going to try? Let me know in the comments, because I love hearing from you. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to endorse this video, join the channel, and tap that bell icon so you never miss new content. Remember, great rest isn't just a luxury. It's part of a healthy, joyful life, and you deserve to awaken feeling rested, energized, and ready for the day ahead. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.